If we take a look at the top 1% of the fastest growing AI companies today, such as ChatGPT, Bolt, Lovable, ElevenLabs, RunwayML or Perplexity, we will notice something similar, right? They all basically have the same website structure, of course with different UIs and branding elements. Another similarity here is that all of these companies are relatively new and most of them are the fast growing ones in their respective niches. For example, ChatGPT reached 100 million monthly active users only 2 months after its launch. Bolt hit 20 million ARR in just 2 months. Lovable reached 75 million ARR in 7 months. Perplexity approached 100 million ARR in just 3 years, and ElevenLabs is now valued at over $3 billion and was launched in January 2023. All of these startups have successfully implemented a new form, I would say a next iteration of product-led growth that we at Omnius like to call value-first funnels. Today we are talking about how and why the top 1% of AI companies leverage this strategy, what makes it so special, and obviously how you can implement it as well. My name is Matt and I'm a co-founder of Omnius, one of Europe's leading B2B SEO agencies, partnering up with some of the best product-led SaaS and fintech companies out there. We have been in this space for over 10 years now, but from 2022 we can see that certain things are changing very fast. And the reason here lies in AI companies changing how B2B websites both look and function like, and essentially how B2B marketing funnels are structured. So the old way of PLG meant that visitor signs up, goes through the onboarding, in some cases adds a credit card, then this registered users activates within the app, gets the product value, and eventually turns into paid. Here the process is comprised of 0 to value in around 5 to 15 minutes. User is asked for something before getting value. On the website, conversion rate is usually 2 to 4% with a high drop of post sign-up. In-app conversions rely on email campaigns, reminders, and sales. On the other hand, the new way of PLG, that we like to call value-first funnels, essentially functions through the productivization of websites. So here are the steps. Number 1, the visitor starts to use the product, aka activates and gets product value directly on the website without any friction. Then he or she signs up and eventually turns into paid. So here we have 0 to value in 5 to 15 seconds. User gets value before giving anything. 10 to 30% of visitors interact with the product instantly. Activation rate is high as users are pre-qualified by usage, and the product converts to paid naturally after providing value and building habit through repeated usage. So TLDR, instead of sign up, get value, pay, with the PLG 2.0, now we have get value, sign up, then pay. One of the reasons for success of these value-first funnels actually lays in human psychology. When users get value first, you're actually triggering something that psychologists call the reciprocity principle. It's the same reason why free samples work so well in grocery stores. Once someone receives value, they feel psychologically obligated to reciprocate. Now let's go through some examples. Here is how companies implement these value-first funnels to minimize the time to value of their products and therefore maximize conversion rate. For example, ElevenLabs lets users pay stacks and hear a synthesized AI voice in around 2 seconds with no sign-up required. ChatGPT and Perplexity allows users to ask any questions and get a fully cited answer instantly without logging in. Quillbot lets you rewrite your text directly on the website. Galileo AI, which is now acquired by Google and renamed to Stitch, lets you create UI design without signing up, or DeepL that lets you translate text directly on their website. Other good examples of this approach that are worth checking out might also be Bolt, Lovable, RunwayML, Mistral, Suno, Minus, and Vercel's v0.dev. A good thing to note here is that this approach is not reserved only for AI companies. So, for example, Wise shows real-time savings with its currency conversion calculator, proving product value before account creation. Coinbase lets visitors track live crypto prices, market caps, and top movers directly on the homepage with no account required to explore real-time data. And Tally lets visitors build and preview full forms without signing in. Account is only needed to publish or collecting data. When developing the PLG 2.0 strategy, one important thing to note are user segments. We identify 3 of such to focus on when planning your conversion journeys and personalizing your marketing activities towards each of these groups. So number 1, high intent users, which will be 5 to 10% of your audience that will convert immediately after experiencing value. Number 2, engaged evaluators, 15 to 25% of the audience, the people that essentially return multiple times before converting, like users trying ChatGPT repeatedly, hitting some limits, and then upgrading to Pro version. And number 3, casual browsers, which will be anywhere from 65 to 80% of visitors, which try once and may return months later when the demand for that type of product happens. As with all big market changes, the logical question we are asking is why now? And the new value first iteration of the product-led growth is not coincidental, and the timing is very much right. And it is a logical response to user behavior that's undeniably changing, and also increased competition levels, economic pressure, and changes in technology adoption patterns. So here is why this change makes sense now. Number 1, product activation. For years, one of the biggest problems in the PLG SaaS is that users never reach the core value of the product. According to studies, only 30 to 40% of free trial users ever hit an activation point. That means most registered users quit before getting any product value. So value first model reverses this, and now the homepage becomes the first activation event. Visitors can interact, experience real value, and get that aha moment before they create an account. This single change increases the probability of activation, retention, and most importantly, conversion. Number 2, trial to paid ratio improves with pre-sign-up education. Most churn actually starts because users do not understand what your product does and are not experiencing the real value from using it. Trial users who understand how to utilize the product are 3 to 5 times more likely to convert. And that's why value first funnels work well, as they educate users passively through usage and not through email sequences, PDFs, or webinars. Number 3, shrinking attention span and rising data cost. Today's users have a decreasing amount of both time and trust. Average digital spans have dropped to just 8 seconds, and Deloitte also found that 57% of users hesitate to give personal data to new tools. Post 2022, more users expect to get value first from the products before committing to giving either their attention or personal data, and that's why the PLG 2.0 model is also efficient in this field. Number 4, there is a very real economic pressure for this update. Things are looking very different compared to 2021, and investments are down, the price of capital is up, Meta and Google ad prices are at record heights, and the focus of every stakeholder is more and more on concrete net profits. So companies are now turning to capital efficient growth strategies that combine the organic positioning strategies such as SEO with value first PLG that simply gets better economical returns because of a higher activation and conversion rates, lower CAC, and a much higher cost efficiency at scale. And the last one, number 5, AI has rapidly increased the market saturation in the past couple of years. So in the AI SaaS space alone, over 10,000 companies launched in 2023. So with increasing competition, the attention of users and the chance to show them your product's value is becoming a very valuable commodity, especially to active users who are more likely to convert to paid in the end. So unlike traditional PLG, what started mattering now isn't what your product does so much, but how fast it gets to value. So in a perfect world, you would just plug in this to PLG 2.0 and start growing, but obviously there are some potential problems we should all be aware of. Implementing value first funnels isn't just about the removing sign-up wall. There are some real technical and business challenges we need to solve. So first, there is the cost management piece. When you're giving away value for free, you need to understand your unit economics. For AI companies, this might mean compute costs for inference, and for SaaS tools, it's database queries and API calls. Before productivizing the website, you should calculate something we call value first break-even point. It's your value delivery cost per user divided by your conversion rate times average revenue per convert. For AI products, you want at least 1:10 ratio, and for traditional SaaS, aim for 1:20 or better. Second, abuse prevention. When there is no sign-up wall, you need smart ways to prevent people from abusing your product and extracting all of product's value before ever converting. This might mean IP-based throttling, behavioral analysis to detect bots, or, as ChatGPT does, progressive friction that increases for high usage users. Third, the complexity challenge. The examples we went through today, such as ChatGPT, ElevenLabs, and others, these are relatively simple single-feature products. But what if you're building a complex B2B tool? Here is where you will need something we like to call micro-value stacking. Instead of one big value moment, you create multiple small value moments that gradually build up. Think about how HubSpot does this. They start with a website creator tool, then offer an email signature generator, then free CRM access, and each step provides immediate value while naturally leading to the next level. Or take Ahrefs, for example. They offer a free backlink checker, then keyword difficulty tool, then gradually introduce more feature. By the time users need their full product, they've already experienced value multiple times and went through something we like to call product utility curve long enough to convert. Outside of user activation and its contribution to more efficient marketing operations, there are also some other potential benefits of value first funnels that can come through. Firstly, data network effects. So where essentially every free user interaction makes your product better for everyone. For example, Grammarly gets better at catching errors because millions of people write with it. Daily, Spotify's recommendations improve because free users generate listening data, and Waze becomes more accurate because every driver, paid or free one, contributes traffic information. This creates a cycle where better products attracts more free users generate more data, and better data improves the product for everyone, which again attracts more users. This way, you're indirectly monetizing by not paying for R&D as you're crowdsourcing it through PLG 2.0. One last thing when it comes to the PLG 2.0, with the funnel structure changing naturally, we need to change, or better say, expand the number of metrics that are tracked. Here are a couple of metrics that you should also take into account. Number one, interaction rate. What percentage of visitors actually engage with your value feature? Number two, value depth score. How deeply users engage before converting. Number three, repeated engagement. Explaining the number of users returning before sign up. Number four, value saturation time, or how long until users exhaust your free value. From testing dozens of tools over the years, we've found PostHog to be one of the most effective platforms for this kind of product analytics, so big recommendations for this platform. At Omnius, we've coined a concept of value first funnels and built a complete framework to help B2B SaaS Fintech and AI companies implement it effectively. If you'd like to go deeper, you can visit our website at omnius.so and get a free access to our PLG 2.0 framework. We are leaving the link in the description below. That's it for today. Thanks for listening through and good luck implementing value first funnels. Cheers.